doubleheader rounds here this weekend at Virginia International Raceway. And for these championships, for the National Championship and the Eastern Regional Championship, this is essentially rounds 3 and 4.
Yep. So
it's been a
bit of a break.
6 weeks or so since COTA. And again, just going back, we had talked a little bit about the GT4 times. Last year it was all Sprint X that ran here, and that target of 153.396 set by Shane Lewis, but we just had Spencer Pompelli blow that out of the water. And so we'll see just exactly where things shake out. And once again, now you see that blue and silver Flying Lizard Porsche running a little bit of a different number this time out. The 21, Michael Dinan will be doing the qualifying in this first session, then Robbie Foley will climb in for the second one. They do a great job, don't they, Flying Lizard, at getting that car out front with lots of good, clean track here.
Yep, and that's all part of the deal, just being prepared and being ready to go. And he should be up on the wheel. He put together a nice qualifying run for the sprint race action this afternoon, and sharing this car with Robbie Foley, so it'll be Dinan up first, and Robbie Foley will have his crack at the wheel.
Fastest car overall in the first practice session yesterday, the dry one, was the 77-volt lighting Park Place Porsche of Alan Brynjolfsson and Trent Hinman. Just to give you a little bit of a feel here, then it was the 19 Stephen Cameron Racing BMW of Gregory Leafoge and Sean Quinlan were the fastest cars. In the overall, fastest AM car was the Auto Technic Racing BMW of John Allen and Chris Wilson. Currently in the points, Matt Travis and Jason Hart in the NOLA Sport Porsche lead fairly comfortably over Dinan and Foley in the car we are watching. And then Quinlan and Leafoge would be next up in the points for the Pro-Am category in the National Championship. In the AM, Preston Calvert and Matt Keegan in the Panos are leading those points. And boy, I'll tell you, again, Dinan, having just been out in that sprint qualifying session, has a good feel for the track and is really pushing early here to get a time.
Great story there with Preston Calvert and Matt Keegan. Matt's been suffering this week with a medical ailment and didn't think he was going to be here, but he fought through. Got the sign off from the doctors yesterday, so he hasn't seen any track action yet. So be an amazing story if they can come up with a solid result here this weekend.
Keegan's got speed.
He does.
Think about what he did at Long Beach in the sprint race. A third overall qualifying effort, fourth overall finish and win in the AM category.
His whole goal this year is to grab a championship, forever the bridesmaid, as he said, and he doesn't want to give it up. So when the doctors say, no, you need to stay in hospital for a few more days, he said, that's not happening.
We have a few competitors that are toughing out some stuff here this weekend. A couple of touring car guys coming off of recent surgeries and the like, and said, nope, I'm going to go race. Recover after the weekend. So Dinan right on the off here, gets down to a 155.96.
Hart is up to second. Coming off that brilliant performance with he and Matt Travis sweeping both rounds at Circuit of the Americas. Those guys were really hooked up there. Be curious to see if they can maintain that kind of form as we hit a different racetrack, but certainly an outstanding start to their season campaign.
Yeah.
That Fastnut guy again. To second.
He's got chops, doesn't he? Yeah, he's technically one of the East competitors, but it's just he runs the Pro-Am class, and they just sort of run, as we said, embedded in here. I'll tell you, after the issues Michael Dinan had at the opening street circuit events in the sprint category, being back here, and they were also the Flying Lizard that Foley Dinan do, as we said, second in the points, good runs at COTA. I'm sure he's happy to be back on a track that's got a little bit more of a margin, and he is really throwing that Cayman around.
Yeah, it's like a breath of fresh air compared to a street circuit, isn't it?
Exactly.
Just a chance to relax and unwind a little bit down these long straightaways. Just think about how you're going to attack the brake zone down here. Really critical to find the sweet spot here and not overdrive the entry. But don't leave anything on the table at the same time. Almost locked up that unweighted right front there as he carved the corner.
He's gone purple in the first two sectors.
Yeah, this is a good lap.
A little wiggle there, but not enough to cost anything.
He had traffic that may have kind of impeded him a little bit on that previous lap, so.
55.9 was his best. 54.5.
It's a nice lap.
Yes, it was. Travis jumps up into second now at a 55.122, a 1 minute 55.122 second lap. Brynjolfsson now up into third at a 155.134, 12/1000 separating second and third right now. Then it's Fasnacht in that car, the bright orange, number 34 Murillo Racing Fuji Mercedes AMG GT4. Nice lap by Sean Quinlan, Cal. Jumps to fourth overall.
That's a really great lap for him. Long ways to go here. Nice clean session, just approaching the halfway mark. 15-minute session, 8 minutes on the board. And these tires, these Pirelli P0 should be right in their sweet spot. Expect some quick laps still to come here.
Speaking of quick, Vesko Kozarov.
He is quick.
Ooh, isn't he?
Purple in sector 1.
I'd say he's one of the quicker AM drivers on the planet.
Purple in sector 2. This is a big lap for Vesko. Could be looking at a pole lap right in front of our eyes here.
Currently down in 15th.
Yeah, that's not going to stay there for long.
No, it's not.
Not like the tidiest run through the roller coaster, but maybe that's just how hard he's attacking.
Let's see, what does he put up for a number here? He had a 2:07. It should be a big jump. Boom, to the top, a 54.285, Cal.
Yeah, that was a sweet lap.
And as you said, a little off in that third sector. Still a personal best.
There's a couple of tenths there from some of the other competitors who have been quicker through that sector. So I think if he can clean that up, the key is, do the tires still have their sweet spot left? He is attacking, using every millimeter of that exit curb on turn 3.
He's using every bit of curb he can, straightening out the snake, and now he should be spectacular up through these S's.
New pole sitter, Greg.
Fasnacht to the top as we watch Kozarov here, but Fasnacht a 54.253.
300ths of a second quicker. Kozarov has not laid down a fast first sector, so maybe his tires have peaked a little bit. We talk about finding that.
Here's the Auto Technic Racing number 16, Chris Wilson.
He goes to the top.
Wow, nice lap.
4-1. Everyone just hammering out fast laps here. It's going to get exciting.
See if anybody can dip into the 53s. I think somebody will.
Yeah, Wilson didn't have a purple sector in that lap, a personal best, but just great consistency over the whole lap.
Here's Brynjolfsson. No, check that. That is the Matt Travis NOLA Sport entry. He's currently
personal best, sector 1 and
best.
2.
He is.
Initially, the timing and scoring was showing Hart behind the wheel, but it is now showing Travis.
Which, in terms of the rating, you would think that makes more sense. All right, so Matt, who had a superb drive in the finishing the second race at Circuit of the Americas. Where do they slot through? Currently in the 5th spot overall.
Jumps up to 4th.
So nice run there.
So is that lap by Wilson going to be enough? Under 5 minutes to go here. Everyone seems to have peaked a little bit looking at sector times right now. Not sure if anyone's just cooling things off a little bit for a last gasp flyer. Ooh, big problem, Greg.
Oh boy, that is up on the roof. That is the number 44. The Kelly Moss Photon Motorsports Audi of Eric and Greg Palmer. That is huge. As you look at Andretti.
Red flag. I'm not sure if the Andretti car completed that lap before the red flag flew.
Yeah, Mueller had just moved up in the number 3 Epic Motorsports entry and improved. I think that time will hold. But yeah, immediately to the red flag. Not a surprise anytime you have a car inverted. The 36, good run by the 22 of Radisic as well. Sharing with Carl Whitmer in that PrecisionDrivingTech.com entry. He's jumped up into 9th. But everybody under red flag conditions, and some of this safety vehicles making their way out on track as well. And that happened with about 5 minutes left in this session. I think that's going to pretty much end the session. That's going to take a while to effect cleanup for the Palmer Audi
again, so maybe that's an indication they feel they do have enough margin with the tight schedule to get this group back out there again for another crack at it. Been a busy morning for the track walkers.
Boy, hasn't it? So there you see how things sit provisionally here. Wilson in the Auto Technic entry over Fosnot and Kozarov.
This is Leofouge, so I think Steve Cameron has made the decision, even if we do go green again, we're just going to set up for the second phase of qualifying. Throw a fresh set of tires at it. Stickers going on. If you did want to scrub yesterday, probably that wet session didn't help teams who prefer to do that, but fresh Pirelli P0s going on for Gregory Leofouge.
And there was some discussion, obviously, about with the cars that were doing double duty with the Sprint and Sprint X about refueling. And normally in this session, you do not refuel between these two sessions. Fresh set of tires, yes.
I think they made the determination no refueling.
That's what I understood
sessions,
as well.
yeah.
So some of those guys that were qualifying in Sprint, that were running the exact same car, are running a bit heavy in the Sprint
Right,
session.
there's a compromise there. But same for everyone. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just got word from Ryan in the pit lane talking to one of the officials that the driver of that number 44, Palmer's, is okay.
Sean Eric is driving the car, so.
Yes. So that is good news. He's the son of the father-son duo. And checker now does show, as you can see on the screen there, folks. So confirmation that it's going to take a little bit too long to clean that up. Not a surprise, really. And so everybody getting ready for the second Sprint X Pirelli GT4 America qualifying session. And
this is where we could see some really cracking times, because
Yes.
you got some stellar drivers about to jump in here. Can anyone get close to that sprint time that Pumpelly laid down a few minutes ago?
Yeah, I mean, you talked about Gregory Leofouge getting in the 19 Cameron Racing products, Cameron Racing BMW, but Trent Hinman will be getting into the 77 Park Place Volt lighting machine. Andrew Davis into the, here's a look at it, Cal. See if we can catch the end of it. It's out of turn 10.
And again, with the wet grass, you just go, if you drop a wheel up through those high-speed S's, just got tipped by the tire bundles there.
All right, of course, the first race, the provisional grid is set. Chris Wilson on pole, Ryan.
Chris Wilson is a happy guy, pole sitter here after our first round of qualifying for Sprint X in GT4. So tell us about your lap. Where did that one come from?
Well, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Anyway, BMW is great this weekend. Obviously, BOP changes from weekend to weekend. So BMW seems to be a good car this weekend. I saw that Pumpelly put it on the pole in the other class. But, you know, we're getting there. We're learning this car slowly but surely. And the Auto Technic guys are great. My teammate John Allen is about ready to go out and do the same that I just did. So hopefully we'll just keep this train rolling.
What message did you pass along to John about track conditions, the way the car is handling, to prepare him as well as possible?
Just go for it. Track is great this morning. I mean, obviously cool. Not a lot of rubber on the track, but still, I mean, cool, cold conditions. What more can you do other than just hammer it?
Congratulations on the pole. Good luck in the races this weekend.
Thanks, Ryan.
Boy, that's a great start. Keep in mind, they come in here in the third spot in points and only 10 off of the lead. So a really good effort here after a second and a fourth at the opening 2 rounds at Circuit of the America. You nail a pole like that, that's how you want to start it off.
Bit of a strategy call as well, because the rules dictate the lower graded driver should be qualifying in that first session, but I think if you have equal gradings, then it's up to the team to determine how they want to do it. Certainly Chris has a lot more experience than John, so trying to play a game of getting that track position early and holding on.
There you see the provisional starting lineup for the first of the doubleheader races. That'll be coming up this afternoon. Another great run by Matt Fosnot to be outside of the front row. Kozaroff and Burton. I think we saw kind of a breakthrough run for Jeff Burton at the way he held on to that position at Circuit of the Americas. I think he's feeling, and he had a good run here last year as well. He likes this place. He's comfortable here.
Yeah, I think he gained a lot of confidence from that.
Yes.
Amazing run he had at Circuit of the Americas, so he should be up on the wheel here. Who's your favorite here, mate? I think Robbie Foley. You know, Dynamo's only 4/10 off the pole in his session. I think Robbie's got great potential in the Flying Lizard. Porsche, Hinman, certainly the fast time yesterday. Whitmer, some good names there to battle out for this next pole.
Yeah, it's just a, it's stacked, isn't it? It really is. Going to be coming up here.
Andrew Davis.
Nate Stacy.
Brand new car for Davis and Briscoe here this weekend with Kelly Moss.
That's right. And first time James Safronis has run CJ Moses in the Global Motorsports Group Audi, but this is the first time that they're coming out as teammates. And of course, Safronis won every championship in the GT4 category last year, the Sprint, the Sprint X, and the overall, and had 2 championships the previous year. And so James is certainly going to be somebody that I think you got to keep an eye on here as well. Just saw a shot there of
fast now, I believe. He's got 2 front row starts.
Yeah, that's
not a bad start to the
pretty
weekend.
Good go for him here. Here's a look at the number 27, the Krug Speed, the lone Ginetta in the field.
Dying, there's that little bit of traffic. He got the lap before he laid down a fast one. I've heard his entry on the front straightaway, which is basically the flying start to that quick lap he put down. So maybe there was a few tenths left there. Ooh.
That was
a moment.
Mr. Golinello. A bit of excessive welly. Here's a look at Kozaroff.
Yeah, he was using it all right there, wasn't he?
And they've sort of played the same game, haven't they, that the Wilson Allen duo was doing. Kozaroff rated AM, but a lot more experience. But going out, let's get back down to Ryan.
Yeah, let's check in with Matt Fosnot, who's had a busy morning already, starting on pole in class in Sprint, outside of the front row just a few moments ago in Sprint X. You pretty satisfied with the pace that you found here today?
Yeah, we were really satisfied with the AMG. The Murillo crew did a great job with both cars. The second car, actually, jumping from one to the other, it's set up very differently. It was pretty challenging to get used to. I was just telling Christian, don't get caught up in your initial feelings because the car's actually really good. It's just completely different. That was the biggest challenge.
Why was it that they were set up so differently?
Yeah, same looking cars. We're just trying 2 different things, and we'll see which one works out better. We'll probably make some tweaks for the race. We're still trying to learn. The cars are both pretty good, but why not make it a little bit better by trying a couple things?
Year 2 for you, on a regular basis at least in GT4. How much more comfortable are you this year than you were a year ago at this time?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with more time, you get way more comfortable. So little things like worrying about, getting a grid on time, or having a routine to get in the car, or wondering wait, which is ABS, which is TC. You just kind of reach over now without even looking. So yeah, you get comfortable with different settings. So immensely different.
Does Christian have a shot at pole?
I think we do. The Porsches are really, really fast, and I'm not sure we have the best setup in the 34 car right now versus the 53. I think if we had another session to tweak the setup, yeah. But we'll see.
All right, good luck to you. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Interesting, and that's got to make it a tough choice when both of your qualifying runs are outside front row.
Right. But he knows the feel, and they'll be able to
Exactly.
analyze the data and get Christian's read on it too, what he's feeling in this car. But it seemed like Matt said maybe he was leaning towards the other setup, I believe,
It
from
sure
his
sounded
conversation
like
with Ryan then.
Look here at the 22, PrecisionDrivingTech.com BMW. That's now Carl Whitmer, who has climbed behind the wheel, paired with team owner Marco Radicic for the season in Sprint X competition. And we know Carl's a mighty quick driver, as is Marco, but Carl's certainly very, very quick. There is a look at the 04 CrowdStrike Amazon Web Services Audi. That is part of the Global Motorsports Group program. And it should be James Safronis behind the wheel getting ready to set off in this qualifying effort.
He's got re-established as a bronze-rated driver. George Hamilton of the World Challenge.
Exactly.
A different tone today, James.
Exactly. The more bronze you're running here. And one of the two most experienced drivers here in this field. We talked about Tony Gables in the sprint category. Well, this is James' 26th year of running Pirelli World Challenge, now SRO Motorsports America competition. Well, the continuation of the cleanup of the incident for the Palmer Audi from the Photon Motorsports entry continues. It's going to be a little bit more time before we can get back to it, so we are going to do a little bit of a pause here on our global web stream of qualifying from the beautiful Virginia International Raceway, all part of the Blancpain GT World Challenge America feature weekend at VIR, presented by Henry Repeating Arms. We'll see you in a bit.